Hello? Anybody here? Oh, I think I know what the problem is. La 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 la. Ah, there she is. How you doing?
Hello, good morning.
Hi.
Good morning. Hi, Ursula. Hi, Rabbi.
Hi, how are you? Now, what did I do? I messed up here.
Not you.
With with video on. Okay, where am I here? Oh gee. What did I do here?
We can hear you.
You can hear, but I can't see you. Oh, there you are. Okay, I'm going to press on this. Oh, there we go. And Ursula is on, and and the other Marlene is on. Both Marlenes. Hey, how are you?
Well, thank God.
It's good to see you all.
Thank you. It's good to see you too.
It's a gloomy day. I thought we were going to have a nice day today.
Well, it was supposed to rain. I knew that.
I knew it was going to rain, but I thought starting out, I was surprised.
You know, I drove to the synagogue today. I like to walk on Shabbos, but last night I walked to the synagogue, and you know it was okay. And and at the end of services, I walked out. It was pouring, and there were floods.
I thought about
so
you.
I had to get Manny had to give me a lift home. And so right now it's it might be a little splattering here or there, but by 11:15, whenever I go home, it could be a deluge. So
I'll come pick you up, Ralph.
I know you would,
I can't come pick you
and I
up
would come
on
and
that
pick you
street
up
that
too.
floods.
I know you have flood. Where do you live,
I live on 14th.
On
Oh,
on 14th.
On 14th, closer to Hallandale Beach Boulevard.
Oh, gee, 14th gets terribly flooded. I'm on 15th. It's not quite as bad, but it's not great.
It was having a problem last night during services. I heard it, and I looked outside and I saw cars were stuck in the middle.
It wasn't raining. It wasn't raining here.
Was it really? You're up like Westlake Village. Are you in Westlake? You are in Westlake Village, aren't you?
Right. I'm only 2 miles, exactly 2 miles from the temple, but I hit the floods. I called Jackie last week to see if it was hard to get the temple. She told me to take Diplomat Parkway.
Yeah.
It was much better.
You know,
much better.
we were looking at, Shai and I were looking at opening up services on Friday night to a very limited number of people who would be who would be separated from each other. Maybe we would have 25 people. First come, first serve, and no walk-ins. It would have to be, you make a reservation, and you could sit with people that you know in your little clusters, right? Your family or friends and wearing masks. But, with the spike, almost 100,000 people were diagnosed in the country yesterday. Was it 97,000? And we have a spike here, and we just said we got to put this on hold. We want y'all back, but
we can't. Come back.
Hi, Ursula. Good Shabbos. Well.
Shabbat shalom, Ursula.
Well, let's get going. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. You know, ever so often, you see a magazine cover. It might be Time magazine or one of those magazines, usually a news magazine of some sort, that talks about the 100 most influential people in history, right? And you will see some religious leaders. You might see Jesus or Muhammad. You might see some industrial leaders. Thomas Edison, Albert Einstein, as a scientist, Galileo, Aristotle. But, it's but possibly the most influential person who ever lived never seems to appear on that list of the 100 most influential people who ever lived, and that is Abraham. Just think about it. Abraham never appears on that list, and yet, just think about this. Half of the 7 billion people on earth, half of them are influenced by him. When you think about it, there are 56 Muslim countries in the world. There are over 80 Christian countries in the world. There's only one Jewish country in the world. But you add them up, it's at least half of the world's population is either Jewish, Christian, or Muslim. And you think about influence. You think about influencing history. It's Abraham. I would say, more than Moses. Moses was important. More than Julius Caesar. More than, I can't think of anyone in history who's had more influence on the destiny of the world than Abraham. Now, we don't know much about Abraham about his personal life, at least at the beginning of his life. His journey that begins with this week's Torah portion, Lech Lecha, really begins when he's 90 years old. And I spoke about this last night, and how, it's never too late to go on an adventure. Never say your best years are behind you. Never say that. What are you going to say, Marlene?
Rabbi, that has gone through my mind 45 times since you said that. I mean, I went, for the future.
Yeah.
And I asked a friend, and she went for the future. She said,
Good.
She asked a friend, and they went to the past.
Yeah.
She says, it's an interesting question.
We all retire or slow down or something. One day, I hope I can still work as a rabbi, but I'll slow down. I want to spend more time with my grandkids. I'd want to travel a little bit. But the thought, I know men my age or a little older who play golf 4 times a week, and I go, I can't fathom that. I can't fathom that. I know people who...
I keep coming back.
I know people who have had interesting careers, professional people, business people, who moved to the villages, or isn't that what you call it up?
Yes, in Orlando.
And they play pickleball almost every day. And I go,
yeah,
you started a business, and you had 20 people working for you, or you were working in the government, or you were professional. Pickleball? I mean, I can imagine playing pickleball once in a while, or swinging a golf club, but you want to say, what do you, Marlene Rose?
I thought last night, I also said, oh, there's a lot more in my future.
Absolutely.
Most certainly.
When you don't make fun of pickleball, I understand.
I did, but just not 4 times a
I don't
week.
even know what it is.
I worked
Me neither.
in my business, our career, sometimes 7 days a week. We worked very hard. We did this. We made sacrifices. Blah blah blah. And when I finally retired, because we sold the business and so forth, I remained as busy.
Yeah.
As busy.
Yeah.
Now, it's true I got a couple of jobs along the way. Yeah. But even now in Florida, this is the only time I've been idle in my entire life these past 8 months.
And you haven't been that idle, really. You've been...
No, I keep busy.
No, you go to temple all the time.
I'm in 3 classes and all the services, and plus I'm always thinking ahead for the temple and blah, blah, blah. And I'm reading. So don't make fun of pickleball. There's other things to do.
You're right. I'm sorry for all the pickleball players in the world if I insulted you.
I heard it's a lot of fun.
It's just that, but you got to have more than that in your life.
So much to do. And it's a blessing that I live here in Florida.
Yeah.
Because had I remained in Cleveland, I'm afraid my friends aren't as adventurous. Well, I would have made new friends.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But even so, I have bigger opportunities here.
So the question that we were left with about Abraham, because we don't know much about his early life. Moses, we know about him as an infant. We know a little bit about him as a young man. We know, we have some insight into who he was, how he became the person he was from it. We don't get that with Abraham. We don't. His life begins at 90. And incidentally...
At what age did his name change?
Oh, around that time. I would say around the... and by the way, look at my friend's video, 75 and still alive. It's marvelous. But anyway, so, the Midrash... And Jewish commentators, Midrash is a little older than our medieval commentators, but Midrash tries to fill in some of those gaps about Abraham's earlier life, to give us some clue of why did God choose this person, right, to start a new religion. And because the Bible, the Torah doesn't tell us much. So we do have that Midrash, and I think you've all heard about it. The young Abram, it wasn't Abraham yet, it was Abram living in Ur of the Chaldees, working in his father's idol shop. His father is Terach, and his dad leaves the shop one day and says, Abram, watch the shop when I'm gone. And what does Abram do? He's got all of these statues made of clay, and he busts them up. He takes a stick and he breaks them all up. His father comes in. You know this story. You've heard this Midrash. Mm-hmm. And his father said, what happened here? And he said, oh, look at this big God, the biggest God here. He went and smashed the smaller ones. And the father said, but they're made out of clay. And he says, precisely, Father, why are you worshiping them? They're made out of clay. So we have that story. He's an iconoclast. An icon is a statue. He is an iconoclast. He's questioning, people's assumptions. And then we have another midrash, less known. You may have heard of this one, or maybe you haven't. It might be something of a vision that Abram had, and it's of a palace. I don't know if it was a dream or a vision. He imagines a palace, a big, beautiful palace. And good morning, good Shabbos, Stanley and Barbara. And it's on fire. It's burning. And Abram says, oh, where is the owner? Where is the owner of the king, the sovereign of this place? and God addresses them, I am the sovereign, I am the king, I am the owner of this palace. Okay, now I'm hearing myself. I'm going to turn this off.